Uh, it's it's Christmas week already, and Christmas week always messes with me, and not in a bad way. It's just different. See, the gym feels off. It feels different. The days feel shorter a little bit. The nights feel a little quieter, and somehow, yes, somehow my brain just decides, yeah, now's the time to think about everything. We're gonna think about everything. Like life slows down, but my thoughts speed up. Like I'll be wrapping some gifts. Oh my gosh. We'll get into that a little later, but or driving somewhere and suddenly I'm thinking about the whole year of 2025. Like what I did right, what I didn't do, and what I said I was going to fix but never got to. And it's weird because nothing actually changed, but it feels like everything did. All right. Let's think out loud for a bit. Here we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the JP podcast. I'm JP, and today we're just talking. It's because it's Christmas, overthinking, the gym, family, faith, all of it. No pressure, no perfect answers, just real thoughts. And all right, here we go. Yes, it is Christmas week. It's already here, and it feels like a blink of an eye. It came by like quick. Holidays, I feel like they come by so fast, but I love them too because you're hanging with friends, family, just being grateful, being joyful to other people, everyone surrounding you, because this world is pretty dark sometimes, and we're all here for each other. So I think Christmas exposes things you don't usually notice, and I'll break it down a little bit. See, during the year, life moves fast enough that you don't really have time to sit with your thoughts, your emotions, your whatever you have to sit with. You don't have the time because we're just constantly going, 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 going. Because routine. You wake up, you go to work. Well, you wake up, shower, brush your teeth, go to work, go to the gym, scroll on social media, sleep, and repeat over and over and over. It's a routine we all build up. It could be different for everyone, but you get what I'm saying. You get the gist. But Christmas is different. Everything slows down. Everything slows down just enough that your thoughts catch up to you. And that is dangerous because it forces you to feel stuff that you know, if you're not used to opening up to people or if you're not used to opening up to people surrounding you who you feel comfortable with, it's that you push everything down. You bottle everything down. Because, yes, until I found friends, until I met people, or until I actually started to trust people, I was like that. Yeah, I was like never really had a train of thought to feel or put it all down, just mind over matter. Do it, do it, do it. And it is what it is. But now that I've known and I've come to reflect into my senses of trusting people and knowing who I can trust, people who are real friends, not fake friends, they will be there for you no matter what. Through the thick, through the thin, whatever it is. For your dumb moments, for your high moments, hype moments, they're always gonna be there. Because I noticed this the other night. I picked up my phone first thing in the morning, not to check messages. No, it's just not to do any none of that. It just, but to see if anything happened with or without me. Just like life is moving on, and I missed it. But that wasn't the case. It was more just me just looking, seeing what people are doing, close friends, far friends, people I've never been haven't been in touch with for a while, but just seeing, what they're doing and what I'm doing, which is such a weird habit when you think about it. Because, we all live our own lives. We all have our own, jobs, family times, people with us. But we also are watching our lives at the same time. Like we fall into those mindsets of I should have been like, oh, why wasn't I there? Why did I show up? Or like not for them, like not inviting. It's just like not playing the sick card or playing like, oh, I don't want to go out tonight. I don't want to hang out tonight. Just instead of just do it. Just involve yourself. Like just be a part of the group and just your friends are there for you. And they want the best for you, so just, don't make excuses. Just go out, have fun, and just be around people. Cuz that's what I've learned. Like just be around company. Company when you need to. If you don't need to, if you need to step back, step back, perfectly fine. It's okay. And what makes in Christmas back on track for this Christmas episode, Christmas makes that louder. You see, you sit around family, you sit around friends, you sit around people close to you, or even at the gym, whatever it is, where your work. Everyone's talking. Everyone has stories. Everyone's like eating, and in your head you're thinking about goals you didn't hit, about things that you didn't fix, about things that you didn't do, or the good things you did accomplished and the bad things that you said you were going to do but you never committed to. It's those conversations you avoid just because like for me, I'm hard on myself. Like if I don't reach my goals, if I don't reach a certain thing, or if I didn't hit it, it stings. It stings for like a couple days. But I've come to realize, it's like, it's okay. It's okay to have some setbacks because the comeback will be better. Because things you said you'd start next week. Like the whole gym aspect. I'll start Monday. Well, if you don't start Monday, what's gonna change if you want to start Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Just start. Just show up. Just be there, and make it happen. Because if you don't, if you just say I'll start next week, when is next week? It'll never happen. And that's what nobody talks about. Nobody talks about that part of I'll start next week because they never do. They make another excuse up about, oh, this is what's happening or this is what's happening. If you're going to say I'm going to start next week, you better start next week or you better start. Don't make that just an excuse that you use all the time. Because I caught myself stressing about the dumbest things too. Like, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect, but yeah. Um, Literally wrapping presents for friends and family, and I was stressing. Like, I mean, I was stressing. I was like, OCD, ADHD, or whatever it is, whatever. I don't know if I have that, but like, I wanted the perfect folds, the perfect tape, perfect everything. Like, everything's like snug, tight, and like the wrapping paper, like it sinks, it's like doesn't look like it looks like clean and fresh. Literally took me. I literally took 20 minutes wrapping one gift, just because I was trying to get all the perfect angles, cuts, folds, pieces of tape for no reason. But it was just like I had to keep going. I was like I'm stressing about literally wrapping gifts. And yes, like it's good to like put some thought into it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. I'm stressing literally about wrapping presents. And at some point, I had to stop and and I thought to myself, bro, they ain't gonna notice the perfect folds. They ain't gonna notice the perfect tape. They ain't gonna notice the perfect, crispiness of the wrapping paper. It's just wrapping paper. Because what they're gonna do is literally, I will give it to them when it comes to Christmas. When they open the presents, they're literally just gonna rip the tape. They're literally gonna rip the tape and the wrapping paper in like 5 seconds. So all that good work of me stressing about 20 minutes of wrapping one present or wrapping my presents, what the f? Like that's like no, it doesn't. The math ain't mathing. But I still spent 20 minutes on one gift, which is like secondhand embarrassment for myself or anyone out there, because that's crazy. Like I was like trying to be like pristine of making sure it's everything's like nice, like closed off, like tight, and like no air pockets or whatever. But hey, I literally had to step back and tell myself, yo, what are you doing? Why are you being such like a robot, stressed out about this certain thing? And that hit me because it taught me that how I approach life sometimes. Sometimes I get stressed. But putting pressure on detail nobody's paying attention to, while you miss the bigger picture. See, Christmas has a way of exposing that. See, even the gym, it feels different because of the year. Like we have people who come in. It's either slow, it's fast. If family members are in town, it's extra crowded. If family members are out of town, it's a little light. Cause one day, like I said, the gym could be fully empty, like close to like 10 people. Like nobody lives anymore. Like everyone's just busy. Like they're doing their own things. They're finding some other new hobby to do, like pickleball or paddleboarding or tennis or golf or whatever sport you want to think of. But then the next day, it's like, holy crap! I think we're having like a safe, like a safety hazard. Too many people in the gym right now. Like it's like we're overcrowding. It just feels weird. Like it just one day's to the next, it could be different. See, everyone's either taking a break or what they're trying to do is undo an entire year in one workout. You got to be honest with yourself. You know what I'm talking about. And I get it. You miss a few workouts and suddenly your brain goes, "Oh crap, like I'm about to lose all my progress. I'm about to lose all my gains. I'm going to lose all my strength and I'm become like, out of shape." But what I've come to realize is that missing a workout, missing, a couple workouts, it won't ruin your progress. So don't have that thought process of if you don't go to the gym, if you miss a workout, you're going to lose everything. You're not. Because losing perspective does, though. See, I've noticed the guilt hits harder than the actual break. The guilt in my head of, oh my gosh, I should be at the gym right now. Oh my gosh, like I'm at home resting, recovering from a good workout, but my guilty conscience is like, you got to go to the gym, like you got to do something. And it took some days. I took some days off. Usually during Christmas time, I take that week off. Because I just remember feeling stressed about it. Just one day, like I said, it could be empty. The next day, it could be very crowded, and I don't want to take that risk. If I take my pre workout and I'm just stimming out, just scratching my skin, I don't want to do that. So I usually take from now on. I take Christmas off. Christmas week off. I do some like calisthenic workouts, just keep moving, get 10,000 steps a day, and then that's it. And I thought I was doing something wrong, but no, because when I came back after the holidays, after like the the meals, the food, the rest, the recovery, all that, I felt stronger. I moved better, and I was more motivated because I took that small breakage of take my body, hang with family, friends, and just relax and just live. just live. Like the gym will still be there no matter what. Just hang with people, hang with family, be grateful for the people in your lives, be grateful for everybody who's been in your community. And it remind me that people who say rest is quitting, it's not. Rest is needed and we need it. It's just part of the cycle of to get better and better and stronger and faster and get stronger, faster, and more disciplined about actually knowing when to take a rest day. And it ain't quitting. Because for me, Christmas is basically, a deload week for me. It just mean either I go or I don't go. But most times I don't. I do not go because I'm not trying to, again, stay there and wait for a machine for 20 minutes while my pre-workout is hitting me in the face. And life fights the idea so hard. So, see, we're obsessed with control. See, control of routines, control of outcomes, and control of timing. See, which is probably why Christmas messes with us. Because you can't control it. You might think you can, but you can't. And I'll explain why. Schedules are off. Christmas week's, is very wonky with work or whatever you do. Schedule might be off. Just family's in town. You got to hang out with family, or you're going out to see family. People show up unannounced. This is more like for the gym, like you're used to your routine of like, who's the regulars, who's coming in. Then bam, all of a sudden, who the hell are you? Sorry for my language. Plans change, like anything. For example, like you go to reserve for a fancy dinner with the family. Oh my gosh, it's fully booked. What do? You gotta, think on the spot where to go next. Plans always change, it's okay. And food doesn't make sense anymore. Like that one, you literally just look at food and you're like, what am I eating? Why am I eating this? But, it's okay. Moderation, it's holidays, splurge if you need to, but don't go overboard, like know your limit. Know your calories you need to take in, know your maintenance, if you're in a deficit or a surplus, know how much you need to eat above or below. And you're forced to let go a little. See, that's where right now I'm bringing faith in my podcast because it's part of who I am now. I'm always going to say that now. That's where faith's been hitting me lately. Not in no loud way, not in no preachy way, but just in this quiet reminder that the timing isn't up to me. It's not up to me. See, I keep asking myself, do I trust that things are unfolding the way they're supposed to? Or do I only trust life when it goes exactly how I planned? Think about that. Because those are the questions I always ask myself. Because those are two very different things. I want something to happen before Christmas this year. I really did. I had the timeline in my head, the expectations, all of it. And guess what? It didn't happen. See, at first I was frustrated, questioning everything, wondering if I messed up somewhere. But then after I let it go, it happened. And when it did, it hit different. See, it made sense. And it reminded me that that delay isn't denial. Sometimes it's protection. Sometimes it's preparation. See, Christmas kind of forces that lesson on you. Then there's family. See, family is amazing. We all have our own families, the good, the bad, the ugly, but we're always going to be there for each other, no matter what. The family I have, I love them to death. The second family I have, I love them to death as well. Like, they mean the most. They mean so much to me. See, everyone's growing up, but somehow you're still treated like the version of you they remember. This is for family, like cousins, aunties, uncles, like you all. I feel like you understand. Like you with aunties, uncles, like you don't see a lot. When they see you, they're like, oh my gosh, I still remember when you were like 8 years old, or I remember when you were just like a baby. Like someone always brings up an old story. Someone asks a question they shouldn't, and someone starts a conversation that absolutely did not need to happen. But hey, it is what it is. Because yeah, that's I love those because like they always remember the good of you. They always remember the innocence of like who you were, and they remember like just the pure memorable moments of oh my gosh, that was a great memory, and all those. See, with family, we always laugh. We can get annoyed at each other a little bit. We eat way too much, and by the end of it, you're just grateful. And even if you don't say it out loud, you are still grateful for your family, for your second family, for anyone who you consider your family. Just be grateful for them, please. Like I don't care if you don't say it out loud, but just say it to yourself. Like I'm grateful for X, Y, and Z. I'm grateful for this person. I'm grateful for that person. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my second family. I'm grateful for my gym family. I'm grateful for everybody in my life that's helped me, like improve myself. That's mine. I'm just grateful for people in my life that truly care about me, aren't fake about their friendships, and just are there for me because I'm there for them. And I hope they know that I'm so grateful for them. And the food. So food usually for tradition for me and my family is that we do prime rib, mashed potatoes, and like a Caesar salad for like our Christmas dinner. I think Christmas Eve we do ham. Yeah, we do ham. I think that's normal, right? Traditional Christmas Eve is ham. But 1 week a year, you know, we all have that thought process. Calories don't exist. But what does exist is that guilt, we're eating so much. We're eating, overeating. We're going back for thirds. We're going back for fourths, like we just keep going back. Because you're enjoying the moment. While mentally you're promising yourself you'll lock in, New Year's because it's literally the next week. You'll lock back in January 1st. Bam. We're getting back into it. We're gonna get everything straight, dialed in. Which is funny. Because Christmas isn't the problem. It's the pressure we put on ourselves is. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of us, we just have such high expectations for ourselves that if we don't reach them, we're very hard on ourselves. Like I'm hard on myself for like sports, gym, and like my family. Like just am I doing enough? Am I like, pushing myself hard in my gym sessions? Am I being a friend that is a good friend? All those things go in my head of the pressure of am I giving in my all? Like I think I am, but the back of my head, there's that small voice in your head that says you're not trying hard enough. You're not putting as much effort. You're not doing all the things that you need to be doing. And that always like that pressure you just put on yourself is what's causing that like mental breakage of things that you're doing right, but you don't fully believe it because you have that head in your voice. And then the social media. So Christmas on social media is wild. See, like I always say, we see the highlight reels, we see the perfect dinners, the perfect families, and the perfect moments. While on the mean hand, you're sitting in sweats, eating cereal, eating leftovers, whatever it is, eating a cookie, like I'm gonna do right now. Sorry. But, and you think, am I doing this wrong? So I saw someone post, you know, some random person post this like beautiful, like outrageous Christmas spread, candles, decorations, everything. Meanwhile, I'm standing in my kitchen debating if, should I have cereal, which I did. I had honey nut Cheerios with almond milk for dinner, or should I have breakfast, eggs, bacon, and sourdough toast, which is like what? Seeing that, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Having cereal for dinner while I see this crazy Christmas spread. And that's when it hit me again. Comparison is so stupid. Comparison is dumb. I hate comparison because I used to oh my gosh, be very in my head about comparing myself to other people, comparing my physique to other people, comparing my life to other people. And your own life is different. Your life is real. Theirs is edited. They're showing it off to people on Instagram. I'm not saying I do that sometimes, I show what I do with my friends, If we go see a movie, I usually vlog a little bit about it, or if I do parties, there's gonna be a post of like a slideshow of this is my February, this is my December. It is what it is. But I'm not comparing myself anymore. I'm just showing my life. It's my life. I don't care what other people are doing because it's just I'm not that important, and they're not that important either. See, but even knowing that, it still creeps in a little bit. I still sometimes get the urge of I have to compare myself to other people. Like, oh my gosh, I should do that. But I'm like, no. I don't need to do that because it's not my. It wouldn't be authentic to myself of my what I'm trying to portray. If that makes sense, I'm not trying to force anything to post. I post what I want to post. I don't care if people get it. People like it, they like it, which means it's going to the right people. Because I think Christmas magnifies it because everyone's highlighting their best moments at the exact same times. And we have to, think about slowing down is what we actually need. Like, we don't need to fix everything. We don't need to reinvent ourselves. We don't need to plan our entire next year, Just let it be. Just do you and let things just work on its own course. You can plan. I'm not saying don't do that, but yeah. But just being present is the best thing you can do. See, enjoy the food. Enjoy the people you're around. Let yourself rest without guilt. Because maybe you're not behind. Maybe you're just in that in between stage of things aren't going well, but just keep it up, keep grinding, keep your head down. And maybe life isn't late. Maybe life isn't late. It's just loading. We're loading for the next big thing. So if you're listening to this alone this Christmas, You're not alone. If you feel grateful and unsettled at the same time, that's human. We all go through those times. And if you feel behind, you're not broken. See, take the week, take the breath, go to the gym, go on a hike, do what makes sense. See, let life unfold a little bit. And what I want to say is just Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to everybody out there. I appreciate you being here, and we'll keep building up. Again, thank you again for watching the video. If you really enjoyed it, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And you all, again, have a blessed week, have a blessed Christmas, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.